Hi, I'm Ben Stevenson from JourneyToTheCloud.com, here for another segment of Cloud Corner. I'm joined here today with GreenPage's CEO Ron Dupler, as well as Kevin Hall. How are we doing today, guys?
Great.
Great. We're here today to talk about cloud management as a service, as well as the current state of the cloud market, and we're going to delve into some of the challenges that IT decision makers are facing today in regards to hybrid cloud environments. So to kick things off, what would you guys say the current state of the cloud market is, and after that, where do you think it's heading?
Yeah. I think, Ben, over the last few years, we've seen a dramatic transformation in the state of the cloud computing market. A couple of years ago, we saw customers really engaging in dialogue with our organization internally, really asking whether this cloud computing event or revolution was real and what it meant to their organizations, and really debating that. Over the last, I'd say, 12 to 18 months, we've seen that debate really end, and now customers aggressively moving to try to figure out how to operationalize cloud architectures within their existing IT strategies. So we've seen, uncertainty really transform into determination, but customers still need guidance in terms of how to make that move.
Absolutely. And Kevin, do you have anything to add there?
Well, I think you said, and oftentimes the way you frame the question sort of said, hey, what are the IT shops sort of thinking about it? I think what we're seeing is we're actually getting a sense that it's not just the IT folks at businesses that are asking about the cloud, but it's the CEOs, CFOs, COOs, CMOs. It's the business itself that's saying, hey, what's with this cloud computing? What are we doing? Are we on this path? And I think that interestingly, a lot of some IT shops are really driving ahead very aggressively in getting some really interesting things done. We have any number of customers who are doing some cool projects in the cloud. But we also have some people sort of holding back, and I think they're under a lot of pressure. They're under a lot of pressure from, let's say, the industry as a whole, right? Just being an IT guy, but they're also under pressure from the businesses saying, hey, I'm hearing about this, I'm reading my CFO magazine, I'm seeing some interesting things that are going on. Why aren't we doing that sort of thing? What's going on? Why are we different? Why are you holding back? So I think we're prepared to sit down with both the business and the IT guys and say, hey, let's talk about what you're trying to achieve in your business, and let's see what makes sense.
That kind of leads into the next question. As far as what are some of the biggest challenges IT decision makers are facing today, and you guys have already touched on a couple, including the business and IT kind of meeting and having to go down that path together. But is there anything else that you guys would say is critical that IT decision makers are really focused in on right now?
Yeah, I think one of the big things we see, Ben, is the gap between what Kevin referred to earlier is what the CEOs and CFOs are reading in terms of cloud computing architecture and sometimes hype, and really the reality of the tools available for the CIOs in the organization and their teams to effectively manage and deploy hybrid cloud environments. So one of the key roles we see for our organization is to step in and really help bridge that gap and help CIOs really operationalize cloud to live up to sort of the demands they're seeing from their executive based on what they're reading in their CEO and CFO magazines.
Yeah. Now, can it be a problem with all these apps, like you said, Salesforce, everything we're using? Can that be a problem if an IT shop is running all these different apps in the cloud and trying to manage various programs? Is that a problem for IT departments, managing too many different branches at once?
Well, thanks for teeing up that softball. No, I was going to mention that from my perspective, yeah, it is a problem because again, in the days, and it's not that long ago. I mean, really, if you go back, really 5-7 years ago, I mean, really, very, very early on, there wasn't much you could really do in the cloud, So everything was sort of in your shop, right? And yeah, it was on your servers, and if something went wrong, you could go running down to the data center, you could reboot servers, there was a whole bunch of stuff you got used to doing to keep your whole architecture running. Well, when that is sort of dispersed and it's in the cloud, management becomes a real big issue, right? And so it sort of forces the issue of really being on top of it. Really, how well does your monitoring program, how well are you monitoring it? How well are you assessing your SLAs? How well are you assessing managing it? You know, and when something goes on, how quickly can you respond? I mean, just day-to-day operationalizing, running cloud.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it is. Your question, Ben, is the crux of the issue because, you know, today as we're moving from old paradigm our IT architectures to new paradigm cloud-enabled architectures, the market and all of our customers find themselves in this interim phase where they're having to manage and try to effectively manage physical, virtual, and cloud service platforms within their environments. And the fact of the matter is, the market today to provide effective management tools really to tackle that challenge is fairly immature, and we see that. We see a big opportunity for our organization to provide clarity in that discussion and really help customers devise effective cloud infrastructure management strategies.
Yeah, and that's a great segue into the last piece we want to talk about and cover with you guys today is Green Pages is coming out with a new offering, Cloud Management as a Service offering. So I was just wondering if you guys could speak to that a little bit. What is it, and how can it help address some of these problems that IT decision makers are facing heading into 2013?
So I don't want to be too nuanced here, but we have a cloud management solution. We are working, right? It exists. It's working.
Yep.
We're using it every day, and so it exists. It's ready to go. I think that's very important for you to know. We're not theorizing on this. This is ready to go.
It's here right now.
It's here right now, ready to sit down, understand what your business needs are, get it plugged in, and help you out.
Yeah, essentially what we've done, I think our technology team has been working with cloud computing and advanced virtualization technologies for several years. I think as part of that, we recognized a couple years ago that there was a tremendous need in the market for effective cloud management solutions. And we began working on what we call Cloud Management as a Service, or CMAS, in that time frame. And what we've done is worked with some proven existing technology partners that have in production technology. It's working, but the way we've deployed that technology, it's new and innovative, and the way we've combined that technology really allows us today to offer customers a single pane of glass platform to manage physical, virtual, and cloud technologies and integrate easily and effectively with the other management tools in their environment, and to offer that to customers on a monthly service or as a service fee. And the important thing about that, Ben, is when we look at the market today, again, as I said earlier, the state of the existing tools to provide effective cloud management solutions, it's an immature market, and to do this effectively, it's expensive, both in terms of acquiring and deploying the technology, and there's associated business risk with that. And most importantly, these tools are out of reach from a price standpoint for mid-market and SMB customers. So we see CMAS, we believe today it's the only tool that can effectively enable hybrid cloud management today. It's affordable, and we can help customers deploy it effectively, easily, without capital outlay.
Another buzzword that's out there right now is the whole concept of rogue IT. Things that used to be in control of IT that's now outside of your environment, and I think it does cause a legitimate
you can cut this out of here, but I'll tell you. Here's why I love rogue IT, because I think in our world today, everyone needs to be involved in IT, right? The company that can get every single person in their organization thinking about the sort of benefits that can come from IT, I think is really positive. So I'm cool with rogue IT, right? As long as I can see it, I can participate in it, I can play a role in managing and monitoring it, right? To tell you, hey, for you to come to me and say, hey, you know what? We've got a great opportunity in marketing. There's this really great thing. It really could help the business, right? Instead of shutting you down, what if I had the ability to say, hey, yeah, let's give it a go, and I'm going to include it as part of my CMAS management tool, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring you in. So again, that power of having everyone in an organization really figuring out how to use technology, I think is very powerful. So I'm not afraid of rogue IT. I'd say let's embrace rogue IT, but let's do it in a positive sense.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say the following, right? Rogue IT exists for a reason. It's because cloud service providers are providing better, faster solutions for teams, lines of business within existing corporations. Now, I guarantee every technologist who is watching this is going to say, Ron, you're wrong when you say better, and they're right to some extent. So what people want in business today is results. Everyone's under pressure to migrate their organizations forward with velocity and really to perform. and development organizations that have to wait for 6 weeks or a month to get a server provision to start a project and can go to Amazon and get it done basically same day. You know, that's why people are running IT.
Yep.
Now at the same time, the traditional role IT has had within the business, which is command, control, and security, is still extremely relevant. And that's one of the inhibitors for cloud adoption. So what we see is effective cloud architectures is really bridging that gap and really allowing everyone in the business, to Kevin's point, from executives to line of business leaders to the IT organizations, to really both do their jobs, to give the end users the freedom and flexibility to execute with velocity and still preserve the old command and control of IT. The only way to do that is with cloud computing architectures.
Yeah, I think this has all been great stuff. I think you guys are definitely out ahead of the curve as far as cloud management is concerned. So Ron and Kevin, thank you very much for joining us today. You can hear more from these guys at journeytothecloud.com.